Oh, maybe that should help. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. Sorry about that. Had the mic off. But it's Friday. It's a beautiful day outside here in 9B. I am in Orange City, Florida, for the people that don't know. You've never seen me before, welcome. I'm Dwayne with Growing Together Nursery here in Orange City in 9B. And today I wanted to discuss how to develop a greener thumb. I get a lot of people that approach or that show up to the nursery, wherever I meet them. The first thing that they say is, oh man, I would grow, I would try, but every time I grow something, it usually dies, or I got a brown thumb, a black thumb, whatever they call it. I kill everything. And I'm like, man. And they just have this type of mentality of like, no, it's not going to work. I've tried it before, and it's disappointing. I hate hearing that because I know I'm just up-potting these guys right now while I'm talking to y'all. But I know that it is possible to be able to develop that green thumb. You can, or greener, okay? Anyone can do this. I am nobody special out here. I will be dead honest. I've been growing for about 10 years, kind of off and on, screwing around in a rental before here. But within the last 3 years, gung-ho, I started the nursery. And then, of course, you got to go ahead and get serious, right? Once it's your livelihood and you're doing it every day, then get serious, dang it. But my thing is, anybody can grow. I don't care where you're from, how you were raised, whatever, man. Anybody can do this. This is not rocket science. It's basically giving the plant or the tree the nutrition that it needs, right? So what do they need to survive, right? Fruit tree, a plant, anything. Water, sun, light, air, all right? Just like us, food, water, air. They need the sun, they need some hydration, and they need food as well, nutrients, right? So if you tackle all of those, then you should be fine. But Dwayne, I've done that. Trust me, I went out home, I went out and I purchased a tree from a nursery, I took it home, I gave it all the TLC I could, and it still died. Well, that happens to all of us, okay? That happens to me too. I will say there are times where we're going to certain places, and I'm not going to mention names, and I'm not talking trash about anybody. Listen, this is an industry that's been going for way longer than I don't even know. I've only been doing this for a very short amount of time. But the more you get involved into an industry, you will find out, you get peek behind the curtain, and you start knowing, oh, there's a lot of things that, and I'm not going to sit here and ramble a bunch and air out all our dirty laundry, but every industry, and as you know, once you go ahead and you start working, you start seeing the ins and the outs of it, and you're like, yeah, this is a little out there. But listen, I am here for the people. I'm not here for profits. I am a bad businessman, because to me, I'd rather, hello, what's up? Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Or ma'am. But I do appreciate it. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, totally forgot. Doesn't even matter. Listen, anybody can do this. You give them the proper nutrients, food, air, water, little shade. Oh, going back to purchasing at a nursery and having tragedies happen. Yes, it happens to me as well. I got it. I'm back. Yes, it does happen. I buy trees all the time. I love it. I go to nurseries and I buy because we buy and we sell, right? Not everything that is here on this property or here at the nursery that you will see, I create. There are some that I create. I will grow from seed. I will graft. I will try to propagate as much as possible here. We'll save some cash. And I know how it was raised. I am not pushing it hard with a bunch of synthetics, okay? That's not my main objective. If you come here, you're not going to see these monster trees with huge trunks and bearing a bunch of fruit, because unfortunately, that's not the way it really works. When I see trees like that, I see them big Arnold out trees, I run, man. I do not like seeing that, because I know that's not natural, man. To each his own. Listen, you do you. To me, I would rather allow Mother Nature to slowly but surely give me the fruit once the time comes. I am not going to sit here and go force me some fruit now. I want it now. Oh, that comes at a price, right? So if you speed it up, what happens when you don't feed it that next year? No fruit. So then what do? They got to give them more, right? More fertilizer. And then you keep jacking them up. And what you're doing is you're just creating addicts, right? A lot of industries, I'm not going to say, a lot of industries are run kind of like that. And it's kind of like I'll say it a little like our medicine, right? Like if you are prescribed something for say 2 milligrams and they say, here's 2, 3, 5 milligrams, whatever it is. At first that'll work. And then what happens? Build up the tolerance. And now you need 4 milligrams and 6. And then they keep jacking you up, right? Because your body gets used to a set amount and then you need a little bit more, right? I don't care if it's also works with tolerance for drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever you guys are into, you wacky, wild people, same damn deal, right? You're going to build up a tolerance to whatever it is that you're ingesting or taking in every day. But when you give these girls girls, right? They produce fruit, females, right? You give them some fertilizer. Well, now they're ingesting in that synthetic every single day. Some nurseries will water in the fertilizer every single day. So what happens when you stop giving them that juice? All right. That blue stuff, right? What happens? They go, they fall out and they will just droop over. All the leaves will turn brown. And then now you're looking at your plant and you're going, oh my gosh, I killed it. I can't grow anything. Help me, please. What do? I must quit now, right? Run. I'll get into something else. I don't know. Art or something, but no, you can still do it. You just have to learn how to, first know what you're growing, okay? And what it is that let me say it like this. If you're growing food, ideally, for me, my opinion only, it is organic. You are what you eat. If I wanted those harsh chemicals, I would go out and buy my own. The reason why I'm growing it and want you guys to grow it is because it's total transparency. I know what goes on these. And I can rest assured and lay down at night knowing that whatever fruit that comes from my property, whether it goes to a customer or whether it goes to my family or friend, I know that it wasn't hit with anything that's going to be harsh, with any type of harsh chemicals or side effects or nothing like that. That's not my objective here. Am I a bad businessman because of that? Maybe. What's up? What state? We're in Florida. Orange City, 9B. It's like 80 degrees down here. Right now, the weather is amazing. It is like a roller coaster. Where are you guys located? First and foremost, but it is a roller coaster down here. We just had like 35 the other night, 37. This morning, I think it was like 40. Now it's like 80, man. I'm back here sweating just about. But this linen is definitely helping out. I will say that I am living this linen life and loving every minute. I haven't been mentioning too much because I want to try to keep it under the wraps for a little bit, and I got to collect a little bit more. All right. I'm still not there yet. I am expanding. I'm getting more submersed in it. All right. Hang on, y'all. I'm getting more submersed in this whole beautiful lifestyle of linen. I found a lot of different things about it, and I'm not going to mention too much. All right. What I will say is, look it up. Okay. I don't want to start nothing, won't be nothing. Listen, I know nothing. I am out here just screwing around. But the more that I learn, the more I'm like, whoa, there's something to it. But what am I doing? I can't afford this stuff brand new, right? So I hit the thrift shop. And I told myself I wasn't going to say nothing, but here we are, right? I figure, listen, if you're within, most of y'all are watching or aren't even around me anyways, but I'll say it like this. If you're within 100 miles from me, it doesn't work. If you're over that, give it a shot. Who knows, right? I haven't studied none of this. Listen, this is a feel-good project, right? How I came about it was I ran into an article or a video. I think it was a video. Told me about it and was like, wait a minute, listen what you're wearing. It all seeps into your body. Your, skin's the largest organ, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what are you doing to yourself? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Hang on, I'm gonna walk with me, folks. So got to put these down in the greenhouse. So I started to look around and was like, let me go find a couple of shirts and see how we feel. Because up to date, I've been wearing plastic clothing. I know, right? As a fisherman, and I've said it a couple times, but as a fisherman, that's what we were told that we had to wear, right? Was all this cool gear that was super expensive, really light, dry wicking. They hit you with all this jargon that, man, it makes us feel like we're wearing the right stuff. And with that price tag, man, stop playing with me, man. You know, you will sit there and feel like you're, you know, out there really focused and catching those big ones, right? Like you look the part, you got the GoPro, you got everything else, but you're killing yourself, man. Seeping in all those harmful plastics. Polyester is made out of plastic, folks. I didn't know that. I've been wearing it for 20 years. So along came this stuff, and I started just going out and buying it. And I tell you what, I use this every day now. Long story short, we are going global now, making boxers and making like head wraps. My mom is in there helping me out. She's sewing and such. So hang on here. Let's see if we got anything in here. But we are making like all kinds of different garments now. I'm going to make like my own, because I'm using still cotton up here. And I think it's probably this may be the only synthetic part still. Besides that, I do want to go ahead and incorporate more of this natural fibers. Supposedly the best natural fibers that you can find is cashmere, linen, and wool. Well, cashmere and wool are way too expensive around here and way too hot. Here, we're sweating all day long. So this tends to help out a whole lot. So far, so good. Thought I was going to have something in here, but let's go walk around and show you guys how to develop a greener thumb. Well, first and foremost, where are you buying your trees from? If you show up to a nursery and, let's see, here's a good example. If you show up to a nursery, and I'm not hating on anybody, folks, listen, you do you, grow how you want to, your time, your money, all right? You show up to a nursery, beautiful, beautiful little M4, coconut flavored. If you never had it, yeah, somebody. You show up to a nursery and you're like, what's all this stuff? This must be excellent. And you go, yeah, it is. This is synthetic fertilizer. Put it on the very top. Cool thing is the animals won't touch it. Nope. Oh, sorry. Animals won't touch it. And there's not much in there. A lot of it already washed away. I usually try to go ahead and get most of it off the top, and then we'll incorporate some organic fertilizer. But this is how I get them. And then I switch them over to mulch. All right, real mulch. And I will hit them with some Hollytone, plant tone, and we'll go ahead and foliar spray with sea kelp. Yep. And I'm doing that with most of them. Mangoes now don't need a ton of fertilizer. They are fairly easy to keep going. But that's the reason why I don't want them. I don't want to jack them full. Like this thing right here is huge. All right. This tree, to see this top of the tree right here, how thick that is compared to, say, one of these over here. They're just fed differently, folks. People feed trees differently depending on where you go. Some will, sorry about the sun, some will jack them hard, and then when you get them, you're like, whoa, how do I keep you from going through withdrawals? Because you know they weren't grown that way naturally, all right? They're pushing them. They are for profit, folks, I'm telling you. Profits over people. Most industries, that's all that they care about. I, on the other hand, I'm a small guy that's trying to do it the right way. I got to sleep at night. I want to make sure that you're going to get something that you don't have to go ahead and push hard, because I want everyone to be successful. I could get you once or twice by selling you a tree that, you know, goes through withdrawals real fast and boom, she's gone. And then you're like, crap, oh no, I killed it. Let me go buy another one. Although it had nothing to do with you. It was the way, because when you go to a nursery, you can tell them, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's what I do. But most people, you got to talk to the nursery, whether it's assistant or owner or whatever. Talk to them and ask them, what should I feed them? You know, what are you feeding them? And what can I continue to feed? That way they don't go through withdrawals. That's the worst thing. Most of these trees, will go through withdrawals. Not most, some. Let me say some. Some will not. This one lost all its leaves, totally fell out. Some stay strong, man. You know, I still will feed foliar, of course, because that's where you get that beautiful green leaf. Big fan. Some are like, no, feed me, Seymour, or they drop all their leaves and now I got to sit on it for a lot longer. So that's what sucks, is it's been fed synthetically its whole entire life, and then I come over and I go, look, and basically stop it, give it some good stuff, but it takes time for it to kick back off. This is one that I created, and you're not going to see any withdrawals in any of the ones that I made. Okay? Why? Because it's naturally produced. They're slowly but surely going. I'm not racing. It's not a race to get these to hurry up and sell. I guess for a lot of nurseries, that's the way it works. Maybe I'm just a little bit different. I don't know. I'm just saying I want things to grow like barbecue, you know, like cooking barbecue, low and slow. I am not here to push my stuff just because there's a yin to every yang. If we go ahead and we start juicing everything, how much fertilizer is that going to entail at the end of the year down into your soil? All the synthetics kill all of the microbes down in your soil. Are you creating living soil, or are you more the type that just says, screw it, you know, I'm on a rental, or I don't care about the dirt, no one eats the dirt? And maybe you're that type of grower that just wants instant gratification and doesn't really care. So be it. But me, I give a damn. I want, sorry, but I care about the soil inside the pot and in the ground. I'm drinking the water from underneath my feet here. I cannot have a bunch of salts destroying all the crap up on top. So there is that. Know where you're getting your tree from. Ask them what you can feed them. Chances are, again, they've been fed synthetics. Let's see if I can get that one on camera. He's in there buzzing around. Chances are they've been on synthetics their whole entire life. So once you do take them off, they're going to tell you, they're going to cry a little bit. He's in there working. And you're going to have to come up with two things. One, you continue giving them that 20-20-20 or whatever Harold's or whatever green, purple, white fertilizer they had in there in order to, you know, wean them off, or you cut them cold turkey and give them some good organic fertilizer. Watching them still, some don't like to get taken off. Some are going to sit there and look like this. You know, again, citrus, not a big fan. But anyways, most things that I've experienced or that I've had experience with are okay. Most of them don't die off and don't go through those harsh withdrawals. Most of this stuff I've been growing for the longest. But again, you're not going to see any of my stuff flopping over or just abruptly drying up because they haven't been fed. Most of this stuff has been here for a while, and I'm not juicing these up. I'm not fertilizing like crazy. It's low and slow. Why? Because I want to transfer this to you. Uh-oh, we got some new growth on the Groomy. Could be, hopefully, some flowers popping out here shortly. I want to make this a smooth transition from my nursery to your home. Whoever rescues this, whoever rescues this tree, it's like a dog, right? That's how I picture most of my trees. You go to a nursery, you want them all, you want to rescue some, but what do I get asked? They go, hey, what do I feed this guy? So instead of me telling them, yes, well, speaking about food, well, since I am a nursery, hang on, let me spin this bad boy around. Since I'm a nursery, oh no, I get a special type of fertilizer that y'all can't have. That doesn't help anybody. You know what I mean? I have to, hang on here. I have to go ahead and get the same type. Well, my idea is to go ahead and get the same type of fertilizer that any average person can get. So what's the type of fertilizer, or where do fertilizers, where are they sold? Big box stores. I'm not mentioning any names, but big box stores. And then they have different brands in there and whatnot. I chose Espoma because it is readily available, easily, well, not too expensive, and it's organic. Am I sponsored by them? Absolutely not. I want to throw a couple bags my way, whatever. But I'm not sponsored by them. And 10 years from now, things can come out and they say, well, it was the worst thing ever. As it sits, it is organic. It is labeled as organic. That's what I'm using for the moment. Different types of that, just because it is organic. And I need to know that I'm giving you guys something that I can stand behind. All right. I don't want a tree to go ahead and go through withdrawals. Really quick, I did get some persimmons in, which right now they're not looking great. If you know about persimmons, the leaves, they get really yellow. They get a little janky looking, but they're about to fall off anyways. All right. This is the time of year where all the persimmons will lose their leaves. I say all, but I would say most. I'm sure there's some varieties. Someone's gonna be like, no, this variety doesn't. All right. Most will lose their leaves. Some have already done that. Instance, I got this Tanashi, which I haven't had. This one is astringent, and this one is a Charlie Brown tree. You're like, there's no leaves on there, Dwayne. Where are they? This is exactly what I'm talking about. They lose all their leaves, and it looks like you're going to purchase just a stump, right? Just a twig, right? But that's the way that these persimmons are at the moment. Real people that get it, that have grown persimmons, they know they will come back. This is just part of it. Sugar apples are next. A lot of Anonas. See, this one is a Hannah Fuyu persimmon, and again, no leaves, all gone. These, when I first got them in, I gave them some Holly Tone and gave them some foliar spray on the outside, but I didn't do the spray on these persimmons because they're about to drop anyways. We do have peaches here, three different varieties of peaches. I think I mentioned it before. We got Tropic Sweet, Tropic Snow, and Tropic Beauty. Then we have Fuyu persimmons, Tanashi. We have Scarlet Beauty plums as well. Some of these are already holding a few fruit as well. I didn't want to do a whole lot of the colder, hardier fruits, but I'm like, listen, it's December here, and a lot of people get a little hesitant on growing these tropicals during this tougher times, during these colder times. So I went ahead and got a few because people have been asking me for some of these colder varieties, and some people don't want to go ahead and gamble their money. I understand that. They want to go ahead and plant it once and set it and forget it. So plums get down to like -20. Persimmons, I think, are 0 degrees, 10 degrees. Yeah, 0 to 10. So you're not going to kill those here. I think the lowest we've gotten that I know of, I think, was 26 here in Orange City. What's up? Good afternoon, Miss Rachel. But for the most part, you're not going to kill these up here. And what else do we have here? Got a few more things in. Got some cool bananas in. All right. And yeah, bananas are one of those. I can show you. I can talk to you for a second. I ain't scared. Listen, I got things that I'll explain to you, and some of y'all will understand and some of y'all won't, but it doesn't matter. Listen, these bananas are one of those things that people love to, go ahead and jack because they explode. They will fruit very quickly within a year if you heavily fertilize them. What we got in was the Sweetheart. I haven't heard of this one too much. Sweetheart banana. I think this one grows, and see how tall that is right there? This one grows, I think, 8 to 11 feet, and it's said to be pretty good. Produces in abundance. I haven't heard too much about it, but I just went ahead and gave it a Google because I ran into one. So I was like, whoa, gotta have it. And then the red trunk, I forget how to pronounce this. Papaloo from Hawaii. This one, they say it's like a salmon colored flesh. This one's a 14-footer, okay? Oh, that Sweetheart, they say, is good for the wind too. So even though it is somewhat tall, it can take a little bit of turbulence. I don't know about hurricanes. I highly doubt that. But they say that it is pretty wind resistant. Now, this one, this red trunk Papaloo from Hawaii, this one is like a 14-footer. Good producer. I think the bananas are square-ended, which is kind of cool. Don't know about the wind. We will find out. But 14 feet, that's a little bit taller. And I'm sorry, folks. We all got a Ric Flair in us, all right? Everyone's got a woo, all right? Ric Flair, if you're an old wrestling fan, we go way back. Wanted to go ahead and tell you about these bananas. So here's a great example of synthetic versus natural, right? So I bought these from a reputable source, and these bananas came in thick. They came in as 7 gallons thick. I mean, all this was all filled out. I mean, I felt like if I would have poked it, it would have just split because it was just huge. I was like, dang, man. And now, because I stopped giving it the go juice, that it's been fed its whole entire life, now she's going, oh no. And she's not going to produce the way that, it came over here. They're not being fed the junk anymore. Now they're just going back to low and slow. I get it. Doesn't look great. I know. We'll discount them. But this is a lesson for me. I will not be buying these larger bananas in 7 gallons anymore because it takes more time to keep them, happy. And I am giving them some kelp and I am giving them fertilizer, but it's just different, man. When you've been fed hard your whole entire life and then you come over and you're like, here's some, 5, 3, 4, whatever it is, they're like, no, they want the good stuff. And these are going to sit with me for a while. I get it. It's a mistake that I made. I won't be buying these larger ones anymore. If I can get them at a young stage and then pot them up slowly so they don't go through withdrawals, they will look better because that's the leaves telling you there's not enough nitrogen in there. And even though I just gave them some, still going through it. Listen, folks, we're all learning, right? My green thumb is getting greener and hopefully yours is starting as well. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, folks. Listen, all of these have been growing under these conditions for the longest, and they're hanging in there. No, they're not 30 feet tall by now. Those are only 4 foot max, but you know what I mean? Low and slow. I don't mind waiting, okay? That's, this hasn't been pushed, okay? This one's a dwarf Orinoco that's been with me for a while. But anyways, be careful where you get your stuff, or don't, but just know that you're going to have to continue pushing. You're going to have to give them something strong in order for them to stay happy. Because if not, you're going to go, oh no, it's dying on me. I can't grow anything. Meanwhile, it's got nothing to do with you because you were told to give it some sunshine, some water, and it will be totally fine. I'm looking for some more flowers. I just saw a bunch out here. Here comes some new growth. But it's not your fault. Sometimes it depends on where we go. All of them about to come out. And again, this right here, kind of the same deal. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, we were getting pumped full of nutrients. Well, I say fake nutrients. Think about it. How long has fertilizer been out, folks? Compared to how long we've been growing stuff naturally. Now, I know we haven't been growing in pots that long because they weren't around. I get all of that. But even so, even in the ground, fertilizer is a newer thing. And if you only rely on it, then you'll have to just give them more and more and more. And if you don't know, it's also quite expensive. So not only is it expensive, but also something that you have to continue to use. It's like it's a steroid, if you will. You go to the gym, you get on a couple cycles, you go ahead and you think, oh man, I'm ready for competition, right? To go and become a bodybuilder. Well, then jump off the cycle for 6 months, all right? And then go and get into a competition and see how you do. It's not going to be easy, folks. I'm telling you. It's all, and this is, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of industries that are like this. These are all grown just by themselves. Now the leaves are that way in cost. They will turn colors. They will go ahead and drop off. But most of my trees that I grow here don't go through withdrawals. Okay, there's a hog plum there. Once I sit on them for a little bit, put them through the Growing Together rehab program, then they become happy trees that you don't have to juice and you can grow naturally, folks. And when it's ready, she'll produce. All right, I'm not selling the fruit here. Nothing in here is for sale per se. This is more of a way for me to go ahead and get you guys growing as well with doing the least amount. I don't want to have to come over here and fertilize this thing every week. It should be fine. Just watch the leaves, make sure that everything is looking okay. Water, sunshine, mulch. All right, now the mulch, this is food, right? Because this brings up, a lot of people will say, well, now you're going to have the bugs. Now you're going to have the worms. Now you're going to have all kinds of crap in there. Well, that's what I want. Not saying that everyone else needs to do this, because it all depends on who you are. You may not believe in this. A lot of nurseries won't do that. Listen, I am not like everyone else, and this is trial and error. I'm still learning. I'm still getting my bearings underneath me, and this is how we learn, folks. From others, sometimes, from their mistakes, sure, but also by just coming out here and seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm not out here in a rush. I mean, I want mangoes every single year, but if this tree doesn't give me mangoes this year, it's okay. I'm not going to be like, you got to do it or else. Here, let me make sure. And I jack it full of crap, you know, and then every week here on out, you got to give it more. If not, then it falls out. Let me show you. I got one example for you, but all of these trees have been with me for, I would say, a couple of years now. This one I created my graft there, but no issues. You know what I mean? You're not going to see any browning tips on most of these. There are some that have a little fertilizer burn. Rollinias are going to lose their leaves, so this is part of it. Okay, that's a whole different deal there. But Rollinia is going to lose them. But there are some that I get from nurseries, and I drop them in the ground. I don't feed them. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine, because it's already got, you know, enough fertilizer in there. Here's an example. I know. Oro Negro. Crazy. I'm going to show you this one here, and I'm going to show you the one that I have for sale. Okay? Oro Negro avocado, so you know. Look at the structure of this tree. For one, this limb runs all the way out to here. All the limbs are super leggy on it. When I first found it, I was so stoked, because I was like, man, let me just go ahead and grab it. I saw it as it was a gorgeous tree. It had a ton of limbs, stretched like Stretch Armstrong. And I knew that that was all nitrogen out. I knew that it was all just the juice. I get it, you know. So I brought it home. I put it in the ground. I was like, let me just go ahead and drop it in here. Gave it the old buddy system next to the Super Haas, the Ooh La La. Yeah, foot away. And gave it some mulch, left it. And before you know it, she started going through withdrawals. First thing that happened, the whole top dried up. I snipped it there. And now look, the whole thing is starting to dry out on me. And because she's going through withdrawals, am I going to freak out and move it, or quickly throw a bunch back on there to keep it going? No. If she makes it, she makes it. Only the strong survive, folks. All right. I could take this and grab this onto something else, but I'm afraid that if I clip now with this cold weather, it'll probably just shoot all the way down and kill the rest. Not a great looking tree. I should have picked better. This is my fault. But I was so stoked to go ahead and get one that I was like, crap, who cares? That looks good enough for me, and I'll drop it in there. But this right here, these super leggy branches, that screams nitrogen. Way too much nitrogen, okay? You don't need... All right, I'm not going to say too much. But anyways, let me show you the one that I have for sale versus this one. And whenever I go to a nursery, I always look around to find out, you know, which trees look the best for me. And I do shape mine. All of mine here do get trimmed up. I clip them to make sure that the new growth will come out. All right. But let me show you this. I know I'm walking back and forth, but hang with me, folks. It's Friday. What else you doing? You getting paid to work and watch YouTube? Well, some of y'all. And if you're not outside today, oh man, if you're in 9B, if you're in my area, in my neck of the woods, and you ain't outside today, I'm sorry, man. It's a gorgeous day. Get outside. See what the Lord gave you today. Let me show you this Oro Negro, man. Let me show you the difference. None of my branches, for the most part, are going to be super leggy like that. Why? Because I'm not jacking them. All right? Let me show you. Actually, let me do this. Look at this Oro Negro. It's for a customer, technically not for sale anymore. It was very quickly, but look at the difference. So now you can sit there and say, well, it's all variety based. Look how short these little stems are. These branches, nothing remotely close. Okay, so it depends on where you get your trees from. If you're looking at a specimen that looks like it's on the sauce, it's definitely on, folks. There are times, all right, where I will feed these flowers some synthetic fertilizer, and I come back in a couple hours, and you look at these blooms, and I swear the color is like vibrating. It's so vibrant, like it's moving, and you're like, like it just screams fake. Like it gives me that knee-jerk reaction. All right. Most of these aren't going to be super leggy. Not here. Okay, because I'm not jacking them like that. I want them to grow as natural as possible. Okay. That way, once you do plant them, you don't have to worry about putting a bunch of supplements on there and, oh, please help me. Please stay alive. Come on. No. I want low and slow. And once they start kicking, first couple of years, I'm not really expecting too much. Sure, if they give me 1 or 2, then we'll be very grateful. But patience, folks. Let the tree build into the ground. Let them roots go ahead and spread out. As long as it's looking good and you're giving it water, giving it some, whether it's mulch, whether it's organic fertilizer, worm castings, whatever it is that you're giving it. As long as you are feeding it something, getting it some good water. Good water goes a long way. I know that some of y'all have no choice. You have to give them, unfortunately, that's city water. Okay. I did that for a while. Okay. Now we do I'm very fortunate to have a well on the property, which is everything for me, because a lot of these trees, well, none of these trees have ever had city water on them whatsoever. None of these have ever had any chlorine, fluoride, none of the junk that you will find in your awesome drinking water on these trees. Okay. These are all been well fed. I used to say spring fed because we're so close to the spring, but technically not a spring, right? We're not spring fed. We're less than 2 miles from the spring head. We are on the Blue Springs water basin here, so water is impeccable, but all of this stuff has only been fed that. There are nutrients in the water. It's a living water. It's exactly what you want to be able to feed said trees. If I was not able to drill that well here, I would have never posted shop up here, just because that was the whole kicker. You got a good source of water, then you're good. But yeah, let me see if I got any more examples. But once you let me show you this. This is the Barbados cherry. I don't fertilize, and you will see how a lot more people, as their trees get larger, you shouldn't have to do too much. Now, if you are selling your fruit, you are a big farm, totally different. Okay. Or if you're selling flowers are on a whole different level. They're all need to be jacked up in order for them to bloom and all this. That's why I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to damage my soil here. But as the trees get larger, they're just going to do their own thing. They're going to fruit for you and flower all by themselves for the most part. Okay. I don't feed a lot of these larger shrubs or trees. Once I first put them in, I'll give them a little bit of help to get started organically, and then hands off. Every once in a while, maybe once every 3 weeks or so, I'll come out here and do a little foliar spray. Not for everything, just a select few, just because I want things to grow the way that they want to. Okay. Again, we're not selling the fruit here. If you come over and taste some of the fruit, then cool. Like, you got Barbados cherries kind of hanging out. There are none of them that are ready that I could show you, or else I would. I wanted to show you a nice, sweet, like black cherry looking one, but it's close. Let me show you what we do have. Hang on, though. Hang on. Appreciate y'all hanging with me today. If that's still kind of small, still needs more time, it will get a lot larger than that. When I first tasted them, I'm like, they tasted like red peppers to me. I didn't get the sweetness out of it. I didn't understand them as much as I do now. Now I'm actually getting to really like them. And no, it's not loaded. If I were to jack it full of potassium, of that 0050, I'm sure there'd be the floor would be littered with fruit, right? But that's not my main objective. I'm not trying to just have a tree dump fruit everywhere because I don't want to force bloom like that. That's not me, all right? I want to get the nutrition behind it slowly because, listen, folks, most of your fruit and veggies that you're getting from the store are jacked to the gills, all right? They are jacking them things full. But then when you finally take a bite out of it, what's it taste like? Water. Yeah, no flavor. All right, it will be pumped full of fruit. Okay, you'll have a ton of this stuff everywhere. I mean, if I were jacking these, you would see a ton of fruit. You would think that I'm the man. You'd be like, man, this guy can grow anything. But meanwhile, I'm lying to all of y'all, and I'm over here dumping a bunch of crap, not giving a crap about my own soil or my health or my people's health. Not me, man. I'd rather have 6 fruit that tastes amazing than 50 fruit that tastes like air and water. You know, you don't believe me? Go grab a tomato from the store, and then eat that, and then go grab a tomato from your garden. I don't care what size it is. Tell me the difference. I'm telling you, man, there's a big, big difference, and that's kind of the gateway. Once you start growing your own, whether it's peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, anything, store-bought versus homegrown, night and day, man. I'm telling you, night and day. That's how you first find out that there is a difference, folks. Now, sad news to report. This weather is killing my grass. I think last night was down to like 41, you know, not the greatest. Am I covering them? No. Should I? Probably, but I'm just kind of leaving them out. Got a little lazy, I'll say. And now they are charred. Not looking great. So next spring, guac will get way more grafts on here. I ain't done. Still waiting on this one to see if it's going to go, but she's all dried up. I doubt it. But will I try it again? We will see. We will see. And from what they say is you match, right? And I'm going to show you something else. You match the scion with where you're going to go. So like they say green with green. If the scion is green, then you also graft onto a part that's green, you know, or like kind of like that, green to green or brown to brown. But I'll show you where I didn't listen and I still had some success. All right. Miss Kathy hopefully will come out here pretty shortly with some blooms. She's starting to swell up over here. Also, Carrie also swelling up over here. Let me show you this one. Yeah, but once they get to this size, I don't see a whole lot of issues on these girls. They're not going to go ahead and fall out. You're not going to see a bunch of leaf drops, branch die off. No, once you get them to a certain size and you start, and you start feeding them just some mulch, some good organic potting mix, you'll be fine. You know, doesn't even have to be organic as long as you give them organic amendments. Sure, organic's always better, but give them something good. If you're eating it, by all means, give them the best that you can. All right, Malika hopefully should be blooming this year. Nothing just yet. And Malika's okay. Supposedly this is the #1 chopped down tree. This is my graft here. The #1 chopped down tree because people don't know how to pick it. They don't know when to pick it. And this is one that has a lot of controversy of how long you should wait for it to actually ripen, okay? Whether it's 4 days, 7 days, whether you bring it in the house in a burlap bag, use some cow dung, I don't know, monkey poop, whatever you're gonna do to make it ripen. Dark places, all kinds of different ways. But I actually enjoy the fruit. It wasn't that bad. When I first tasted it, I had like oh man, a lot of people talk trash about it, but pretty sweet. Citrusy, and I want to say there's a little papaya in there, but I could be off. Came back in here and dropped in some more seeds. You know, Carrie's doing her thing over here. Back here, just dropping some more stuff in here, slowly but surely, working more. Citrus, a couple of things over here. I got some limon dulces, or sweet lemons. It's one of my dad's like favorites, little citrus. This one flowering from a little cutting that was gifted to us back in the day, and already flowering up. But it's Friday, folks. Hopefully y'all are having a great day. Hopefully you can get outside and get some fresh air. Katuk is still fruiting and flowering. Got a few nuts on here. I came over and made some more yesterday just because I don't know what this weather's going to do. There's a good one. And if you don't eat them at this stage, they will split and the seeds will be in there and they'll drop. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oh, right here. Oh. Oh, that one. Oh, that one already had the seeds in there. Oh, man. A little overdone. Yeah, you don't get them in time, and they will split. There's a seed there. I did not know that, but this is how we learn. Can plant this and grow it that way, or you can come over here and snap there, get it going that way too. But Katuk, an excellent food forest favorite here. A lot of people love it. Easy to grow, perennial. It will, some say 6 feet is max on there. I've had this thing probably 8. Super easy. Super easy. And one of my faves, I just love eating the leaves. Variegated or non-variegated. Many different ways. Floragon's coming out with some more fun over here. She gave me, I think, 3 or 2 last year. I think it started with 3 and then went down to 2. Didn't give me any growth whatsoever, which is fine. I wasn't expecting too much. But now, hopefully we'll come out with more. Floragon was an excellent mango. It's a muted Indo-Chinese. Still very nice, little fiber. I don't think I put it, no, I didn't give it the top 10. I don't really have a whole lot of bad things to say besides this one was littered with ants. This is way before I came around with the borax and sugar. So I did use the insect barrier there. But this one had a ton of ants. The flavor was good. I can't wait to taste it this next year. First year that it fruits, probably not the best flavor, just like everything else. The first year, the first time you do something, may not be the best. But then after that, practice makes perfect, right? First tree that you grow probably won't be the best. But then after that, once you get the hang of it, you'll be off into the races. Why do we touch all of the trees, right? You'll see all these videos on YouTube or wherever, and everyone's always touching the trees. You know, you'll see multiple people grabbing and holding, and it's because they're alive. There's a frequency behind this, folks. So once you touch them, you tune into that. Boom, you're immediately talking to your trees. They know you. They know my vibrations. They know my voice, you know? I sing to them. I talk to them. You got to caress them and hug them. Hug a tree, man. When was the last time you hugged a damn tree, huh? I'm just messing around. But listen, get out there and talk to your babies. You know, they will produce for you once you go ahead and you keep them happy. There is something to that where they say you go ahead and you talk to them. Let them know they are alive. All right. Whether or not it's grounded, it's still energy, man. And there's something to it. When you walk around and you see people touching the trees. Now, don't come over here and molest my mangoes. All right. I'm just saying you can touch them and that's fine. I get it because there is that aspect of tuning into this frequency. We can't see it, but we can feel it. Trust me. You can come in here in a bad mood, and after a while, you start to breathe a little bit better, a little bit easier. You know, this green is just very tranquil. And then I had to put Karen in the middle because she loves the attention. Karen Michelle hopefully will give us, nah, she's a little small, but she'll be kicking out some more panic, or maybe even a panicle. Who knows? We'll find out. But folks, I just wanted to talk to you about what we can do, what you could do to get a little bit better at growing. You got to take some chances. Take some big swings. You know, they're going to tell you, don't grow June plums in the ground in 9B where it freezes. You could lose the whole tree. Well, then I'll just buy another one next year. All right. These are so good that I like to snack on the leaves. I love the fruit. They produce so much little fruits. Underrated fruit. Some people don't like them. To me, it's like a pineapple mango, if you will. Seeds in the middle are quite spiky. Not like dangerous, gonna, poke your mouth and make you bleed, but like a rambutan spike. Soft spikes, really nice in there. But you can eat them green or all the way ripe. And I probably have said that quite a few times. But still, I know there's new people always tuning in. So this is another tragedy here. This is the old Donnie, and the whole top piece froze off. So now all I have is the sides growing out. Will that still make avocados later? Sure. But is that the best looking tree? Absolutely not. This is pigeon pea or gandule, which I'll be removing. I gotta get rid of a lot of these. Gotta get rid of a lot of these. A lot of them already froze up, already died. So then let me show you. I gotta come back in here and remove them. Wind's kicking up a little bit. Sun was just out, but now we got some cloud cover. Yeah, I got all these pigeon peas that I interplant because they're nitrogen fixers. So they're easy plants to get started. You don't have to fertilize them at all. Drop them in the earth and let God do all the work. All these are all dried up. So I got to come back in here, trim them all. You can also use this as like a scaffolding. Say if you wanted to cover this mango here, I can cut all this, step back, sorry. Cut that and then throw the blanket over the top and use it kind of, like I said, a scaffold, like a coat hanger, if you will. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got to come in here and clean up some of this stuff, but slowly but surely. Big Shirley, yeah. We got some cranberry hibiscus that's flowering up. By now, a lot of them close as the sun comes out, but they're all blooming here. Next year, I'll come over and clean up this whole lane, but for now, we'll let it grow in there. I am making more of these. Oh, I missed you. Oh, I got to run around. I am cleaning up the dwarf tie here, making more. And this thing is still shooting off a couple. Oh, sorry. Shooting off a couple. I just saw one that's ready to be eaten. Hang on. And it's Friday. I know, we're going a little bit longer. Fuyu persimmon. This is the one. I had a customer just come in here and she's like, mine's 10 foot tall and it's never produced for me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this little 4-footer already gave me 5. But again, what are you doing? What are you feeding your trees? Are you giving them some good natural mulch? Here's what I saw. Look at this. Yay. And see, this is why we come out here. Sometimes just one little berry is enough. Keep it going. It's like that golf shot. You're like, I quit. This is a horrible game. And then you get it real close and it brings you right back. No, not a golfer. I've been out there and hit a bunch of balls before. They all go into the drink. And it was not for me, folks. Can I go out there and hit a good drive here and there? Sure. But am I going to go out there and try to become good at something that's going to take that much time and loot? Absolutely not. I'd rather grow fruit. All right. This is a lot easier, more rewarding, because y'all don't know. Some of y'all see this as, well, he's back there just selling trees to people, but you don't see the interactions. And honestly, plant people are some of the best people on this earth. You don't understand. I've been in a lot of different industries and nothing like it. Most people that are growing trees are grounded. They understand. See all this? Oh, wow. Look at the colors on that. Wow. Look at that. They must be organic. Look at that. Oh my goodness. No, they're not. These things were almost dead. And I just gave them a little 20 cubed, and now look. See, am I good at growing? No, man, I'm telling you, anybody can do this. You just give them the juice and cut them loose. All right. No, man, it's a cheat code. That's not right. But that's because that's not food. All right. It's a big difference. I ain't going to do it to none of this crap in here. I don't care. Oh, but you're not going to sell the trees. That's fine. I'll end up planting it. Actually, to be honest, this one, maybe not. It may not leave. I always have a few that I'm like, if this thing sticks around, she's going in the ground. I'm telling you, this Marcus pumpkin, I've been staring at it for the longest time, and I'm like, man, she's beautiful. Look at these leaves. Huge, huge leaves. Why? Because I'm feeding the leaves. All right, big difference. But it's a big avocado nonetheless. And as you know, I will propagate and make more. So any tree that I plant is for an investment, because later on I will graft it onto seedlings and we'll make them. You know, that's my objective. Another objective is to propagate and to sell, to graft my stuff. But again, low and slow. I'm not in a rush, you know. I'm just trying to keep these girls alive. That way, once you get them, you too can be successful and you'll come back and buy more. Because there's nothing worse than you buying a tree, all right? You take it home, it dies, and then you're like, screw this, man, he got me. And I'm like, yeah, I sold you for the $60 or $50 for the tree. But meanwhile, you don't come back. And then you tell everyone, hey, man, don't get those trees because they die on you quick, you know? Not knowing that, hey, they were being fed that, ooh, wee, look at that little jujube action here. These are the West Coast. West Side. These I haven't tasted. I haven't had any of the jujubes, to be honest with you. But these are quite interesting. I thought I ordered the Thai Giants, but these are not. These are the smaller types that you can get on the West Coast that you would dry up. You would dry them up, and I actually have some of the dried fruits inside. I bought them at the Asian market, and it's like a sweet cardboard. But it's not bad. I will eat them here and there. It's not like my everyday snack, but it's like a sweet cardboard. Now, would I dry them always like that? No, I would. Once mine start kicking off, I will eat them green. I will eat them fresh, not in a dried form. But anyways, folks, listen, it's Friday. We're open this whole weekend. Tomorrow, let me step back here. Tomorrow we are open 10 to 5, Sunday 12 to 5. Come on out and see us. I'll be here, and we'll give you guys a tour, show you guys what's in season, what's not, talk about it. And let's get that green thumb going, man. All right. Just because you killed some stuff this past year and the time before, and the hurricane took some, and I quit. Listen, folks, get your ass up and try it again, man. All right. Just because, some things happened. All right. Take a little breather, rest for winter. Springtime rolls around and giddy up, man. Because you know what? This food ain't going to grow itself. And I know you're tired of paying these high prices for this food that's lackluster. All right. I know it because we are all victims of the same crap that we're buying from the stores. Picked when, shipped from where, you know exactly what you're paying for, and you know how you feel. Wouldn't you go ahead and you give that hard-earned money to said cashier? Or if you're checking yourself out now, because we're all getting duped for that. Grow it yourself. There's so much more benefits of growing your food all for yourself. Let me spin you around this way. Instead of the house, you're seeing some greenery. But grow it yourself, man. It only takes 10 years for fruit. Now, depends on what it is. Yes, 10 years for Salvador. Black Sapote, depends on what it is. Anonas, depends on the size. A couple of years you could be eating in abundance. And you can share and also help your friends and family so that way they can also learn to grow as well. But slow and steady is the name of the game. Start small, good water, light. Even dappled light will work. For most of these trees, you don't even need full sun, even though the tag will say full sun 6 hours. Dappled light will work on most of these. And as they're smaller, once they're smaller, then they would need less ideally. And then as they become larger, they'll go ahead and creep up out of the canopy and get more sun. Here in Florida, we don't have a shortage of sun. All right. So anyways, folks, that's enough of me rambling. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Come out and see us. Support your local nurseries. All right. We can actually help you out, walk you around, show you, and talk to you a little bit more and answer your questions than said big box stores. But love y'all. Have a good day. And let's all grow together, folks. We got plenty of things to do. All right. Have a good weekend.